Looks a little bit crazy. And a little fit check for church. Egg white omelet on my wheat. Delicious. Hi guys, good morning. It's Sunday. I love a good Sunday. So yesterday we had such a nice reset day. I feel like Bradley and I have been traveling like almost every weekend, and it's so nice to have a day where we just got the things done that we wanted to. And today can be somewhat of a peaceful Sunday, a little bit of a Sunday reset, getting started for the week. But I'm about to start getting ready for the day. So we have church in the morning. I have a heavy leg day later on today. Bradley and I are going to go to the gym together, and it's my probably heaviest leg day of the entire week. It's definitely one that pushes me. It's which one is it today? I'm doing quads and glutes. So it's a lot of glutes, a lot of heavy work. So that's gonna be really fun. But I figured today would be a good day to take you guys along with me. I'm gonna get this Sunday started by making my gut health drink that we make every morning. And for Bradley's, I put in his creatine just to make sure he's getting it in throughout the day. For me, I have it during my workout in my intra-workout shake. Oh, and this is also from MyProtein. I have a little bit of editing that I need to knock out for a post I'm making, so I'm gonna do that this morning. But there's something that I've been like kind of working through, and as you guys know, like I'm such a routine person, you know, you have to be as a bikini competitor, and I love, you know, having my structure to my days, my similar meals day to day, similar meal timing, you know, getting in my nutrition, getting in my training at a certain time, and I'm such like a type A routine person when it comes to that. And what I've loved about this off season is that I've had more flexibility. Like I haven't been following a meal plan. I've more so been going about it the way that I coach my own clients, which has like been so awesome because then Bradley and I can enjoy dinners together. And something that I've been working on, and I know that this sounds silly, is I know that for me, like I am such like, when anything distorts my schedule, like it drives me a little bit crazy. Like I start to get anxious, and it's something that I've been working through. So what I think I'm going to start doing is, while I'm like in bodybuilding prep, you know what I mean? It's so structured. Bradley and I aren't really having meals together, things like that. I'm like having the same thing day to day, same timing. And in my off season, I feel like I started to swing the pendulum the other way. And it's been so great because I've had so much flexibility. I've been able to dial in all of my nutrition. But I feel like I'm like overthinking all of these decisions, you know, like every single night. And part of this has been because I've been developing the recipe book, right? Like I've been trying out a bunch of different fun recipes, but like making a new dinner every single night has been like a lot of like thinking, and I feel like it's making it less special, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I feel like it's like I do really well when I keep things simple throughout the day. So anyways, where I'm going with this is I think what I'm going to start doing is throughout the week, stick to my normal meals, right? The normal things that I do. I'm going to keep dinners super simple, like what I normally do. Like, okay, what's a protein source? What's a carb source? What's a fat source? Like last night we did ground beef, sweet potato, avocado. It was delicious, right? I don't have to overcomplicate it. Or I've done chicken, potato, throw some cowboy caviar that I have prepped, or some chickpea salad that I have prepped already. And I think I'm just gonna make meals super simple throughout the week, and then twice a week have like a more fun day. And I need to come up with a name with it because I like having names for things. I don't know, that makes me like feel better. So I need to come up with a name for this, but I'm doing one today. And that's like the reason I'm bringing this up is because usually I have my meals figured out the day before. Like I'm like, I know what breakfast is gonna look like. I know what my pre-workout meal is gonna look like, my post-workout meal, dinner, and then usually I do a snack at the end of the day, because for me, 5 meals spread out evenly is what works. And that's what I do like in my preps and stuff like that. So today, what I'm doing is, it's a Sunday. I know that it's a day where we're gonna enjoy. So instead of like planning out all of my meals, I'm kind of taking it day by day. So I originally had some little breakfast sandwiches prepped last night that are going to be part of the recipe book. That's why I was developing it and like tasting all of them. And I wrote it up and made it for the first time last night. And it's these bagels, like these 2-ingredient bagels that are high protein. Like these 2 bagels, it's 22 grams of protein. And then I made them a little sandwich, like bacon, egg, and cheese for Bradley. I did like egg, sun-dried tomato, and some herbs and stuff for mine. Prepped them, and that way we had like a grab and go option this morning if we do the 9:30 service for church. I'm talking way too long about this, but I'm getting to a point here. But instead of trying to plan out the entire day, I'm gonna have, you know, like 2 times a week where it's more of like a fun day. I'm still hitting all of my targets for nutrition. I'm still being structured, but I'm not being so rigid and routine with it. And I'm kind of just letting the day go as it comes. That way, like, okay, if we end up doing the 11:30 service and we're going to the gym a little bit later, and then maybe I'm having, you know, moving around my meals a little bit, that way I'm just going into the day kind of enjoying it. I know we want to do a more fun dinner, and I feel like when there's a little bit of scarcity, it makes those meals more special. And this is something that I tell all of my clients is like, for your meals, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need this big fancy recipe. Just think of your meals as assembly most of the time. But I do love cooking, and I love like quality time with Bradley and us making a fun dinner. So I feel like making that a couple times a week, maybe on a weekend, on a Friday. Sometimes I go to lunch with him, and that's like one of my more fun meals. Like we'll do sushi or something. So that's kind of what I'm thinking through. I'm working on it, and I feel like it's something that I want to like share more with you and you guys, because like that's something that's so big as what I do as a nutrition coach, is working through these things with each one of my clients, and it's so different person to person. And I'm kind of finding my balance, you know, being newly married and wanting to show up not only for me but also for my husband. And like a lot of my clients are busy moms, so they're showing up for their whole family, and there's always a way. There's always a way, and that's what I love, is that like I know how to do these things. So I'm just trying to find my own idea of balance rather than like overextending myself to be like I think there's a fine line between being overly rigid, but there's also a fine line between being overly flexible. And while I was still hitting all of my targets, and this is the best off season I've ever had, and I have no doubt that like I'm hitting my nutrition targets every single day, but I was almost trying to make myself too flexible, and then it was like stressing myself out, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what today is gonna look like, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated, but let me know if that makes sense. I know that I just rambled on about that forever, but maybe that resonated with some of you guys, and I would like to talk about it more. So do you want 1 bagel or 2 bagels? I did bacon, egg, and cheese for yours. Oh, it looks cute. Oh, this one's mine. On mine, I did like egg whites, some greens that we had left over, like arugula and sun-dried tomato. And that's so easy. I can just make these for you before work and then pop them in the air fryer for 5 minutes. Hopefully it turns out good. Ooh, yours looks yummy. I kind of want it to feel like we're like at a cafe, so we'll see. I'm gonna put it back in this like paper and cut it.
The thing about this though is that we try to
Yeah, we do. I like a slow morning, so 11 a.m. service will be better. And a little fit check for church. So fun. All right, we are all ready. We ended up going to the 11 a.m. service, so we got to have a slow morning. And what I ended up doing, because again, I'm being flexible, is I brought my pre-workout meal with me. Looks a little bit crazy, but I have it with me. That way I can eat it in the car. I brought us a couple of bananas so that we can carve up before we go train. And then we just brought our gym bags and our clothes, and we're just gonna change, get in a leg day, and then have a fun dinner. So, great morning. But this is crazy, I had to show you guys. So I did my normal like cream of rice bowl, and I put it in a huge container. And then I have my whey protein here, put some berries in there, and then some rice cereal, so I can just throw it all together. Not the nanner. Banana break. It was a good sermon today, and I don't know, I feel like it was what I needed to hear. And then Bradley's mom got me this, which is so cute. We have so much swan stuff. I love it. And I made a little basket of like analog hobbies, and funny enough, I feel like it sounded like I was lying because it's like a pencil case and a journal. And I was like, funny enough, the other day I was like, you know what I really need is a pencil case, because I have so many pens and highlighters that are just loosely in my basket. But anyways, so that was exciting. And now I'm gonna have a banana. Bradley's gonna have a banana. Brought our handy dandy pre-workout, and we're gonna train. Bradley has back and biceps, and I have a heavy leg day, which I am a little bit nervous about, but it's gonna be a good one.
Just a little handful of nanner post church.
It's right before my eyes, and I can take it if it's what I want to do. I am leaving, and this is starting to feel like it's right before my
Workout was good. We just pulled up to Publix, and we're gonna try and figure out what we're gonna do for dinner tonight. We're gonna purge the pantry a little bit and use some gnocchi that we have. We're gonna find some steak, and then I think we're gonna find a fun snack, which is fun that I haven't planned out my meals for today, so that I can go in and be like, ooh, what carb source can I have post-workout? Kind of fun.
That's all
carb?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we want.
It's just wheat. That's the only ingredient.
Nice. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's $1.25. But you got like 8 or 10 different ingredients versus this is like 70 cents more, and it's just wheat.
Love it.
Looks better too.
Yeah, it does. Looks yummy. I picked up a little tuna roll from Publix as my post-workout. Such a fun day. I like leaning into this, and then I'm gonna do some coconut aminos on top, which is like a soy sauce alternative. I also have been needing to get some flowers, and we have a magnolia. We have a magnolia tree, I guess you would say, and it's out front, and it's just starting to bloom in spring. It's so pretty. So I went outside and snipped some of them off, and I was like, that way I don't have to buy flowers. And then we're starting to work on our garden outside. I want to start building that up to where we can have some outdoor seating, and my plants are doing well. I'm starting to get tomatoes blooming, and my green peppers are popping up. So it's been so fun. I feel like it's not bad. It's cute. It's cute. Okay, Bradley is working outside, and he is fixing the sprinkler because homeowners, we're now figuring out all of those things, and he did a fantastic job of, I'm on the phone with my mom right now, so she's tuning in. But did a fantastic job of mowing the lawn. So good. It looks beautiful. But we did run into that, so he's replacing that. And I got my Costco order, so I wanted to show you guys what that is. And pretty staple restock, I would say. I had most of the things that I already needed, but I always do an egg white omelet on my weekday morning, so a really essential, like Sunday reset. So I have a big old thing of baby spinach. I wilt it down and then I put it in my egg white omelet. I love Greek yogurt. Almost always the last meal of the day is a Greek yogurt bowl with some fun toppings on there, so I do that. Honeycrisp apples. Probably too many, but we love Honeycrisp apples. Bradley and I were talking about how apples are so good, but if they're not Honeycrisp, it's just not the same. So I'll put them on top of my cream of rice bowl, the Flavor Gang bowls that I do, like I mentioned earlier. Sometimes I'll put some Honeycrisp apples with peanut butter and then some cinnamon on top, and it's delicious. You guys saw I used a lot of lemons because I do a lemon in our gut health drink every morning. And then for tonight, we did pick up that fettuccine when we were at Publix, as you guys saw. So that is going to be our pasta of choice tonight. And so I wanted to get a protein to go with it. And Costco has the best proteins. It's just so much better than Publix, so we didn't want to get it at Publix. And we got some USDA Prime sirloin, and it's actually pretty lean. It's probably the leanest steak you can get. Filet is also lean. Never realized that sirloin is almost leaner. So we got some sirloin. It's also a little bit cheaper and it tastes just as good. So we're gonna throw this on the grill, have some pasta, have some red sauce with it. It's gonna be a great day. Oh, and I have some rosemary sourdough that I made, so we're gonna dip that in it too. But of course, I will show you guys that. Really all I season these with is just salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic. And then I'll just sear them on like a cast iron, or we'll do the Blackstone. I think today we're gonna do the Blackstone. Maybe the most important part. Delicious. Okay, Google, set a timer for 9 minutes.
Got it, 9 minutes.
Alrighty, made some cookies for our sweet treat tonight for Bradley. And then I wanted to do something a little bit different since this was more of a fun day. And I did like an edible cookie dough for my sweet treat with just some things like I did oat flour, a little bit of Greek yogurt, some maple syrup, some mini chocolate chips, and I put a little bit of like almond extract, a little bit of vanilla, and some stevia. It's pretty good. But thank you guys so much for following along for the day. This has been such a fun Sunday, and I will see you all in the next vlog. Bye!